on AM 1100. The Flag.
It is Tuesday at 8:05, one of my favorite times of the week on this program because it's time for the CEO Spotlight brought to you by Vaaler Insurance. When it comes to protecting your business, nobody beats Vaaler. And it's a great opportunity for us each week to get to meet somebody from the executive community here in our community who is leading a company, trying to grow a workforce, make it a good home for the employees, looking to the future, those kinds of things. We all learn a little something when we talk to the movers and shakers in the business community. And we're very thankful to have in studio today Brian Crommett. And Brian is the CEO at 702 Communications, and they're based in Moorhead. They have been around since 1999. They offer broadband internet, phone service, networking, data storage, and managed services through our area and down in Wahpeton as well. Brian, welcome to the program. Good to have you here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for making time here on what I'm sure is normally a busy time of day as you get your day started. 702 Communications has been a really good, long-standing business in our community since back in 1999. And you've been there most of that time, haven't you?
Almost that whole time I've been there, yeah. The business opened April 1st, 1999 when they hired Jim Walter as the president. And I came on in October of 2000.
Okay. And so you've been leading the company and moving things forward. How have things changed since 1999 at 702?
Well, when I started at 702, initially, I came on actually to do 3 days of data entry work. I was just coming into the job as a temp, actually, and I was just keying in our first dial-up modem customers.
Oh, wow.
So if you think back to then, that was the first. You know, that's and you look at today when we're doing managed service and data center and gigabit Ethernet, and there's been a little bit of change over the years.
Yeah, what a great story. You started as a temp.
I did.
And then now you're running the company.
Well, because I got my degree in music education, and there weren't any.
Is that right?
Yeah, there weren't any music jobs open at the time, so I figured I'd work for a couple months and go interview as a teacher again. And a couple months into this gig, I thought, you know, this company has some potential, and I could go somewhere in this company, and the president at the time thought so too. So he kept moving me around, giving me different opportunities, and so I got a really good feel for the business overall through all of those opportunities. And when he retired last year, the board selected me to take over.
Very cool. So what did you want to do when you were growing up through the education ranks in music? Did you want to be a performer, a teacher? What did you want to do?
Yeah, I was fully intending to be out there being a music teacher, directing a high school chorus or a band or both.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to take what life gives you.
What the good Lord has in mind.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let me ask you this now. We can chuckle about it, but everybody's past plays into how they do things today. Mm-hmm. What about that and maybe a different kind of background than maybe what a typical executive in your line of work? What did you learn? How were you shaped by music and education that's maybe helped you as a CEO and doing what you do now?
I think that when you look at how you're prepared to be a teacher, you know, you learn public speaking, you learn management, classroom management specifically, right? But classroom management goes into project management pretty easily too. And I've noticed at 702, I've had some other musicians come and work for me. My network operations manager was a music performance major as well. And there is a tie between music and technology. It's something about, I think it's a theory, right? But it's the way you process, you see the big picture in music, and that ties really easily then. Of course, you have to learn, the actual skills of technology, but the mindset around both are very similar, and I've seen, obviously, musicians succeed in technology.
Very interesting stuff. So as your company has grown, there have been more competitors moving into the marketplace. I'm sure it's very competitive. What separates the good people in your space from the ones who aren't quite catching on?
I think, there's a lot of great people in the space, and I don't take anything away from our competitors, but I think the thing that 702 has always been really good at is understanding what our customers want and not overextending ourselves at the same time. So when we're looking at new product lines, we're not doing something that's so far out in left field that our customers are wondering what in the world we're doing. It's something that's a more organic, growth type of thing. And so you get the right people that are taking care of the customers. You're offering the services that your customers need. And you get a lot of customer loyalty out of that. And so we've appreciated and enjoyed a lot of that over the years too.
So someone might think of you if they're building a new office, they need to wire it, get it all set up, they need a phone system, something like that. What are some of the other things that you do, though, that maybe don't get as much light shined on them that you think people ought to know about?
So, I mean, obviously we started as a phone company and businesses still need telephone. And so we've got telephone. I mean, we're still a telephone company. We started as a telephone company. I say we're an internet service provider now because that's really how we identify. But you can't get away from the importance of phone. And phone today is not phone the way it was 20 years ago. So if you need anything as far as communications in your office, we've got, cutting edge telephone services. But our data center that we just opened up is a great asset for this market too. If you're a small business, you might have a server that's got sensitive, critical information for your business, but it might be in a closet somewhere or under somebody's desk. And you'd be better off having it in my facility, in a rack in a climate-controlled, security, accessible building. So just things like that. And then with the addition of managed service last year, where we can help be your IT staff. So you don't have to have that expense and that expertise on hand. It's just 702, looks at what your business might need from us to help you succeed. And these are the things that we continue to grow and offer.
There's big news. Just got announced yesterday.
Yeah.
An acquisition. Tell us about this.
Very excited about that. Like I say, last year we launched our own managed service division at 702, and it's been really well received from our own customer base. It's so well received, honestly, that we needed to look at adding staff, and we thought, if we're going to add staff, let's maybe look at somebody established that's maybe looking for the opportunity to move on to the next phase of his career. And so I found Scott Gulke and Computer Wrench, and Scott is looking to start to transition out of owning a business, and it was a great opportunity for us. So yesterday was the first day that we had Computer Wrench at 702 Communications.
So will they still operate as Computer Wrench under you, or are they part of 702 now?
They're part of 702 now. We'll keep using that brand because that brand has been around for 15 years, and people know Computer Wrench in town here, and there's a lot of people that really are loyal to Computer Wrench in a way that 702 has enjoyed customer loyalty, and so there's a great tie-in there. Both Moorhead businesses, both really customer focused, and so we're happy to have Scott and his team.
To this point, you had grown organically for the most part, just finding good people and doing different things here and there.
Yes and no. I mean, we've done several acquisitions over the years. And when we were first there, we bought FargoCity.com, the internet service provider. We bought LinkUp. We bought I-29 Wireless. We bought Go Moorhead Wireless. We bought a video network here in some apartments in town. So we've definitely made acquisitions part of our growth strategy. But again, it has to be an acquisition that makes sense and fits into the overall scheme of 702.
What have you learned about the acquisition game that maybe nobody could have told you when you started? Something you had to go through a few times before you realized this part of how that works?
Acquisitions, I think the biggest thing is really digging in to the numbers and understanding, what I can offer that's going to be fair to both the company that I'm buying, but also makes sense for 702. But then also just really digging into when you're having that conversation, is that individual actually ready to sell or not? And that's a hard thing. You grow your business over the years, and I think a lot of people will start their business wanting to see how far it'll go. Some people maybe start their businesses hoping to, build them up and turn them over, but you get really invested. And so you can't ignore the emotional side of an acquisition either.
Have most of your acquisitions been you approaching them and saying, hey, are you interested? Or has it been people coming to you or through a broker? How has it happened mostly?
Some of all of those things, actually. So we've made some approaches. We've been approached by individuals who want to sell, and we also have had some brokers approach us about opportunities that so far haven't gone through, but you never know.
I've heard people say when you're doing that game, do 3 different projections: worst case, best case, and the one in the middle. How do you kind of, is that a formula you do too? How do you kind of figure out, okay, in order to know what I got to pay, what I can pay for, I got to know what it's going to mean to us and how it'll help us.
Yeah, that's really how I've always gone about that is let's look at your projections right now, exactly what you're doing, look at what you've done the last couple of years and what do those numbers look like? What does it look like if I can add value? What does it look like if I can add 10, 20%, or whatever in 5 years? What does it look like if I lose 10, 15% in the acquisition? Can I make the numbers work there too? So it's somewhere in the middle, and it depends a lot on, what that customer base looks like and how closely we align with how they've done business in the past. And then sometimes you have to eventually get to the point that you're going to take a leap and decide that, you trust the pro forma and you believe in the company that you're buying and you take a leap, and we'll see how Computer Edge goes. And it's gone well for us so far. And like I say, we're committed to that managed service product line, and they got a talented team at Computer Edge, and we're really looking forward to seeing what we can do together.
What do you hope the company looks like 10 years from now? Do you hope it's more of the same? You got 40 people now. Do you hope to double in 10 years? Is there a certain kind of formula you're looking to do?
My board doesn't have any sort of, you need X growth in this many years to be successful. I think the bottom line is we're going to keep doing business, keep growing. I've got a personal goal to, grow the business. My predecessor did a great job. He built it up from 0 to what we are now. We've got this first acquisition here, so I'm going to do my best to make sure that I grow this business at least commensurate with what he did. So sky's the limit for 702 as far as I'm concerned.
They say that the people who sit in your chair, it can be a lonely existence sometimes. Nobody quite knows the drill. And there can be some stress that comes along with having a lot of things. Those 40 team members, they're relying on you to make good decisions. How do you handle the stress, anxiety, things that naturally come with that business? How do you manage that so that those things don't ever get the best of you?
There's definitely some truth to the axiom that it's lonely at the top, because you look at all the years I'd been at 702 before and really more in the trenches with everybody and working through things. But I think if you're a good executive, you're making sure that you're communicating and you're not doing it alone for the most part. You're involving as many of your staff as you can in some of these tough decisions. But when it comes right down to it at the end of the day, when you got to make the tough decisions and there's stuff that you can't share and you just need to hold on to yourself. You just need to make sure, trust that you're doing the best job that you can. You're making the right decisions. At the end of the day, you kind of just got to leave it there, because if you're constantly second guessing yourself, or if you're wondering what if or should I have or whatever, you can't be an effective leader. So.
Yeah. Now, as a musician, do you have a trumpet or a violin or a guitar at home that you use to kind of help you get away from it a little bit?
I do. I still actively sing with Great Plains Harmony. I sing with the Barbershop Chorus. I play trumpet with the Imperials Jazz Band up at the Elzegel Shrine. And I do noodle around on my guitar too.
Yeah.
So all of those things are great outlets for me. And a guy's got plenty of other hobbies too to keep him busy at night.
I've been racking my brain in here going, where do I know him? Great Plains Harmony.
Great Plains Harmony.
That's right, brother. How are you? Yeah.
Good.
I was like, man, I can't place it where I've met him before. That's
on
awesome.
Stage.
Well, Brian, it's been fun to get to know you a little bit. Thanks for the conversation. Congratulations on the success. Keep it up, and all the best wishes for the days ahead.
Thanks again for having me. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in. Brian Crommett, CEO of 702 Communications. The CEO of Spotlight is brought to you by Vaaler Insurance. When it comes to protecting your business, nobody beats Vaaler. Here's the thing, friends. Their employee benefits specialists, they work closely with your employees, your team, to make sure that they understand the value of the benefits your organization provides. You put a lot of money into those benefits. You want to make sure that people understand what they are getting and that that's appreciated. Doesn't cost a penny to ask some questions. To set up a visit, go online to Vaaler.com. That's Vaaler.com. All right, short break for us. Yes, you in the back, sir?
Yes, I have a question. Are you guys going to be doing the Great Plains do the singing Valentine's deal again? Do you guys still do those?
We do. In fact, I'm going to be out in a quartet on Valentine's Day delivering Valentine's myself. So
All
it's
right.
not too late to order. You can go on greatplainsharmony.org and order a singing Valentine.
I was
love
embarrassed by those one year at a restaurant. Oh,
Alex, he's sitting right here.
It
We're
was-
gonna say you were
Embarrassed by me.
embarrassed.
I'm in a restaurant with my mother, and I get this singing Valentine sent to me. Oh my gosh!
Awesome.
But weren't those guys talented?
You bet.
It
There
was
you go, right there.
embarrassing.
Exactly.
I was almost at the Y, which probably would have been better, but they know me there.
All right, I know what I'm getting you.
Yeah, exactly. We're thinking, okay.
No, don't.
Let's get Alex going. All right, 8:21 weather update coming up next.